Hey everyone, and welcome to Practical Vedanta and Trading. Okay, so today we're going to be on the topic of how to achieve freedom on this topic. Now, the first thing, traders, on this particular topic is first thing what we need to do to achieve this ideology of freedom and what we call about financial freedom is what you have to do first rather than going towards strategy after strategy. I would say the first thing start to begin with know, and it starts with letter T, which is called thyself. Okay, know thyself. Okay, now in Vedanta it says that you first have to realize who you are and who you are not. Actually, this is also referenced by Tom Basil, who was interviewed in one of the top traders of the world in the book Market, the New Market Visits. Alright, now you can see that in knowing thyself, that Vedanta usually compares the self which is within, which empowers us, which empowers our thoughts and then our actions and all, and gives us the strength to manage this mind, which has got billions of thoughts coming in. It compares the self to the ocean. Now think about this, right? Now the seabed of the ocean is always calm, isn't it? The depth of the ocean is always calm. But you can see, but the waves on the top, right? The waves on the top, they come and they subside into the ocean. And whatever happens on the top, on the surface, the waves coming up and going down, never affects the depth of the ocean. Okay, the depth of the ocean is always calm. And that's what we're saying over here. In Vedanta, we're saying that know thyself, as in connect to the self, and embed in that silence, in that peace, in that bliss and happiness, and then go on to the next step. Okay, this is why we always say it's very important to do whatever kind of techniques to bring the mind to stillness so that you can connect to yourself inside. So know thyself always. Okay, this is very important. Now, the second thing is, after knowing yourself and knowing that you're the source of happiness, peace and bliss, then after that, then you will go on to the second step, which is what we call patience. Okay, patience. And in this kind of state of patience, which knowing yourself connects you to, then at that point, emotional impulse-based trading is negated. Emotional impulse-based trading is negated, because the last thing we want, this traders, that we don't want to jump into a trade just being triggered by emotions to go into it, just because we think that trade is going to go for more further down or going to go more further up. We don't want to jump into the trade. So for example, today on the Aussie dollar chart, as you can see, there is a very big buyer bar at the moment, right? Just because we see that happening, we just don't want to jump in triggered by emotions. Okay, so what we always want to do is follow a plan. So our intellectual conviction in our strategy based on the edge and the plan we have should not be overridden by emotions. Okay, and now to do that, okay, intelligently, we always need to do risk management. Okay, the intelligent control must be there, intelligent restraint must be there to overcome the emotion. That requires practice, right? So that's why you start from know thyself, have the patience for the right trade opportunities to come as well. So for example, even in our trading floor over here, when we were looking at the markets, we were seeing, especially sterling, if some of you guys are watching it, it's going more and more further down and down and down, 132, 131. Some of our clients and some of the people that I know and my friends, they keep messaging me, asking me, oh Thiru, is sterling going to go to 130, right? So the point is, no matter how much further it goes down, I cannot just jump into it and just think that, okay, I'm just going to have a gamble at this. No, that's not the right way to do, especially if you are in this for professional consistent returns. Okay, so you have to follow your plan. So don't just jump in and feel that, oh, the market is dipping so much, I need to get in. No, have always the patience for your setup to occur in the market. Okay, for all of those of you trading and has been mentored by us and the programs, have this patience to wait for the setups that you know and you have calculated the probability of them winning. Okay, Right, so know always your age and have patience in finding those opportunities. Okay, so then the third point it leads us to, once you have the patience, know emotional impulse-based trading, have risk management always on every single trade, that leads us to the third point, which summarizes all of this, which is essential to put it all into picture to achieve freedom, which is first, connect to yourself, the self, that's why know thyself, connect to the self of that ocean bed of patience, okay, of peace and happiness. Know where the happiness is within, not on the outside, not on the trade. Start from that strong knowledge, which is the core of Vedanta, which helps the mind to be in the present moment, very important. Next thing, by connecting first to the self, then you have control over the outside, over the externals of this mind, rather than it jumping here on an emotional trade. So this is what we call the A part, which is the alignment. The alignment of what? There's only two bases of thoughts that usually happens in us traders, and that is the intellectual thoughts and the emotional thoughts. Once you've connected to yourself, the ocean seabed of peace and happiness, then you got more control over this mind and keep it aligned. Keep the intellectual and the emotional side. So intellectual of what? Intellectual side of basically of our plan on how the age has been constructed. And I have to follow that because I know cumulatively that is what will give me the profit. So knowing that and also aligning that with the emotions so that I do not go and take an impulse trade just because the market is going down just to make a quick buck. No. So that alignment of intellect and emotions, and that will then lead us to self-restraint. Intelligent self-restraint of doing an emotional impulse trading. Now with these three combinations of connecting to the self, aligning the intellect and the emotional thoughts, and then thereby giving us intelligent self-restraint to give us also good risk management on every trade so that we're risking intelligently as well, then that will help us achieve freedom. Because you see traders, a true trader who understands Vedanta and applies it practically to trading is one who is content with every single trade he takes without getting attached to the outcome of the trade, because he knows that he is following a system of calculated probabilities that will eventually give him the edge and the profitability for consistent returns. Because all that has been calculated and mapped out just by following the process, it will give him the outcome without himself attaching himself to it. And a true trader will always be peaceful of whatever outcome that comes out of trading, because he knows it has all been mathematically mapped out, and also there's a true edge to the system if it is followed consistently and with discipline. Okay, I believe that video has given you enough value. Go and digest this information on how you can actually apply this ancient wisdom, or very strong wisdom of this Vedanta to trading, knowing these 3 points. Okay, I will leave you with that, and as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.